Nothing like Speedway. We're all on the bikes and the cars. The race is on. Smell the fuel in the air. The car comes alive. They breathe the fire. Nothing like Speedway. Nothing like Speedway. Nothing like it. Nothing like Speedway around. Nothing like Speedway around.
Trevor Green doing a great job in that welding car. As you can see, it looks a little second-hand. I might tell you also that in the transporter at Penong on the way home, unfortunately for Trevor Green, they hit a Mack truck head-on. A Mack truck swerved in front of them and took out the left front corner of their transporter, injuring Paul Felch, who was travelling with them. Of course, Paul Felch, the crew chief on the very successful Skip Jackson car this year, and currently giving Trevor Green a hand along with Mouse and Stevie's brothers, and was in the passenger seat, very lucky to be alive. Paul Felch joins us here at Speedway City this evening, and we wish him a very speedy recovery and hope things go well for you, Paul. Of course, Paul, son of legendary engine builder Alan Felch. All of us here at Speedway City extend our sympathy to the Criticki family, and we would ask everyone present tonight to observe a minute's silence before racing begins as a mark of respect. 10 laps the journey as Graham Carlin leads them around now, sets the rolling pace. Green light on, Peter Drew just jumped the car to the outside of Graham Carlin. That car just had a bit of pushing it through one, brings it off two okay, runs it down the back straight away. Darryl Loyner already out of the race. Have a look at Peter Drew in this brand new car. Washed it up a little bit out of four. The number 8 car of Peter Drew runs down the back straight away, backed it in through turn one now, kept it low out of 2. Graham Carlin in second. Here comes Stephen Murphy down the outside of Bill Miller in the number 7 car. Stevie Stewart blocked in there, having a little bit of trouble. Not anymore, he's not. Relegated to his same spot. Miller fights through back on the inside. Stephen Murphy, the number 74 car, has got the rest of them all hanging in there. Graham Carlin, the number 42 car, runs in second. But I got to tell you, the number 8 car of Peter Drew looks absolutely awesome out as he really dictates the pace of this race already. Down the back straight away, one more time underneath the time clock. 6 left to run for Peter Murphy. Now Graham Carlin, Stevie Stewart. Have a look at that. Stevie Stewart around with Stephen Murphy. Something you won't see very, very often. That is Stevie Stewart up against the fence, I got to tell you, the stoppage of the event. Green light on now. Peter Drew jumped it away from the cone. Exits turn 4, shoots it down the straightaway. Just gently eased the car in, got off the gas where you saw the flame, got on it hard. Car pushed on him a little through 2, runs it down the back straightaway. But once again, in the matter of a lap, He really is now asserting his authority over the rest of the field. Great stuff out of Peter Drew in the number 8 car, and Stephen Murphy out of the race. Steve Stewart in the number 1 car at the tail of the field, working the higher part of the racetrack, looking for an extended momentum down the back straightaway to shoot it down past Miller, which is what he's done. Round the outside of Bill Miller goes Stevie Stewart at the back of the field. This is where the race is on. Car real loose on Peter Drew out of 2. Brings it out of 4 now. Engine working hard. Graham Cowler down the straightaway. Stevie Stewart crawling over the back of Rocky Caruso. Rocky Caruso just staying round the outside, buddy. I'm not going to leave you any room, which he hasn't done. As I mentioned to you earlier, you've got to get offline to pass these guys. Stevie Stewart looking for the opportunity. Rocky Caruso just gave it to him, opened the door, and now Stevie Stewart up to 3rd, looking to run down Graham Cowler. Balked down the back straightaway. 1 left to run for Peter Drew now. The number 8 car on his last and final lap. Stevie Stewart still battling in there for 3rd. A with Callan. Caruso fired the car up the inside of Stevie Stewart. Rocky Caruso in the number 11 car. Now up in the 3rd spot. Checkered flag falls on Peter Drew. Graham Callan in 2nd. 3rd Rocky Caruso. Stevie Stewart out of the race. That now gives Bill Miller the points for running 4th. And out of Victoria, and on the outside of him, the South Australian number 2 car of WRB. Green light on already. Field packed in behind Matt Joss, Matthew Reid, working the outside of the racetrack. Darryl Downing up and over touch wheels, and Darryl Downing went upwards. Flew through the still night air here at the city. The crash, St Agnes Signs, Steve Wickles powder coating and tyre power at Elizabeth. Darryl Downing's had a great career, the 1991 Northern Territory Sprint Car Champion, 3rd in the 1994 South Australian Sprint Car Championship, 1st in the Warrnambool Fireball Sprint Car Derby in 94. What a year 94 was for Darryl Downing, best and fairest, 94, 95, 95, 96. And a feature race point score winner at Speedway Park in 96. And that is all over for Darryl Downing's race in this Heat 1 of the state title here this evening. Race one more time. 4 cars left to run. On the outside, bonus for Chascalandro. Moved up a position, and hasn't it worked for him, has jumped. The Castrol Racing Sprint Auto Parts car out into the front, down the back straight away. This is all Chascalandro. Backs it in, had to get out of the gas. Had it a little severe. Gets it off at turn 4 now. Runs the 33 car down through turn 2. Back straight away time. Calandro, Matros, Mike Van Bremen, tail of the field. WRB. It is all Chascalandro. The number 33 car. Runs very strongly down the straightaway. Pulls it out of turn 2. And is starting to run away from the ex-Dave McFadden car, being run by Greg Matchos here tonight. In 3rd spot, Mike Van Brennan out of Victoria in the number 6 car. Field now starting to set itself apart down the raceway as Wayne Bunker's got a wing problem. He has lost the back of the wing. The wing on the car is flat. WRB in big time trouble. That wing is not working on the car. WRB can't get it to the ground. Action aplenty here on the racetrack at Speedway City. WRB in awesome trouble. That's working in reverse effect. Chascalandro now still running the race. 2 laps left to run for him. On our Castrol Racing scoreboard this evening, this is Castrol Racing. Sprint car action at its best off Chascalandro. The number 33 car now runs out of turn 2 down the back straightaway beside the Cobby Transport sign for the final time. Out of turn 2, checkered flag at the ready, our race winner, Chascalandro. The 2nd car, Greg Matchos, Mike Van Bremen, and WRB at the back of the pack. Wing supports at the back of the wing have collapsed on the car, and that has created a handful for WRB at the back of the pack. Bad. Mark Reuter sets the rolling pace. A little bit of banging wheels there, a little bit of cycling between Mark Reuter and Trevor Green. Mark Reuter got the jump very, very early. Yellow lights do come on, and we will have a restart, a full restart condition, as guys now come rolling around, as I said. 4, as we get set to roar this time round. Have a look at these guys roar. Trevor Green out in front, leading the race already from Mark Reuter. Fired the car around the outside of Reuter now. Trevor Green runs real strong as he had the car up. Trevor Green got a problem with the brake dragging in the car. Down the back straight away though. The race is on in second and third. That is Mark Reuter and David Anderson. Ando looking for a way through on Reuter. Has to get it done very, very quickly. Laps ticking away here. Mark Reuter defending his position superbly. What a great race. Mark Reuter, David Anderson, Chippendale and Matros at the back of the pack. Our race leader, Trevor Green. Have a look at him going that number 4 car. Awesome stuff. David Anderson had it sideways, stood on it, lifted the wheels off the deck. Car got squirrely. Oh, David Anderson in all sorts of trouble, just can't get hold of the track. Mark Reuter runs in second. Oh, David Anderson one more time, hit that run out of turn 2. A little bit better exit for him on turn 4 this time round. David Anderson, though, looks to be having handling woes running in third. That was a much cleaner lap for David Anderson in the 37 car. We've only got 2 left to run for the former state speed car champion. That is Trevor Green. Runs the car down the back straight away now from Mark Reuter and David Anderson. 1 left to run to the red number 4, Rocket. Oh, what a great start to the title for Trevor Green down the back straight away. Ando closes in one more time on Reuter. Reuter's going to make him work for a checkered flag at the ready. A race where Trevor Green, Mark Reuter, David Anderson runs in third from Gary Chippendale and also Greg Matchos. Official placings for race 2. First, the number 4 car of Trevor Green. Second, the 95 car of Mark Reuter. Third, Victoria 37, David Anderson. And Speedway fans, how about it? Record 147.2 for the Red Rocket, the number 4 car. Put your hands together, it is record time. Darren Maggs has the job in front of him here. The number 29 car now sets the rolling pace. Green light out of turn 4 now. We're racing. That's Peter Smith down the back straight away as the orange lights do come on. Green light on out of turn 4. This time round we're racing. Pete Smith, Darren Maggs, Jamie Covey working the inside. Down the back straight away, that is all the highway in colour type labels car of South Australia's fastest publican. That is Peter Smith now, 1 lap down. Darren Maggs runs in second, under a little bit of pressure of the 16 car of Jamie Cobby. Mark Gilbert hiked him out of turn 2. The back of the pack, Callie Lindigan. Here comes Pete Smith. Darren Maggs running that 29 car for HM Headers as strong as Jamie Cobby, the very familiar number 16. Jarvis Ford entry back in third and running very, very strongly. Here comes the action. Sensational run out of Pete Smith. Have a look at this black car. It's on rails for Smithy tonight as he shoots it out of 4. Down the front straight away. Working half track high. Chasing the drive up on the high line. Pete Smith from Darren Maggs. Father Jack, crew chief on the car in the pits. Maggs opts to use the lower line on the racetrack. But Smithy's found the groove halfway high and is running. Out in front and running very, very strongly. Pete Smith, our race leader. from Darren Maggs, Jamie Cobby, Mark Gilbert, Kelly Lenigan. Now Cobby looks for a way past Darren Maggs, chopped the car up on the outside, crisscrossed him out of turn 4, and Maggs fought back, and Cobby working hard on the inside. Maggs a little bit more momentum, runs the car down the back straight away, and it is all happening. Checkered flag time, Peter Smith. Darren Maggs, Jamie Cobby in third. That is Mark Gilbert, the number 5 Freight Master car, runs in fourth, and Kelly Lenigan, the 25 car, runs the tail of the pack. Don't worry about that. Kelly Lenigan gets a front row start next time round, and you'll see her on fire. Duff will be made then into our sprint car title. WRB sets the rolling pace. Green light on out of 4. Here goes the Bailey chassis car off WRB. Caloundro just tucked it in underneath him, stood on it hard as the orange light came on one more time. WRB, the number 2 car, as I said, Bailey chassis, Rodeck engine in the car. That's an all aluminium engine, of course. Aluminium engine doesn't give you any more horsepower. Out of 3, does look dangerous. Mike Van Bremen on the outside of him. Green light on this time round. WRB on the inside has to contend. Van Brennan round the outside of him. WRB now coming under challenge of Chas Caloundro. Fights it back, putting it into turn 3. Hauls the car out of 4. Back of the field, that is Matthew Reid and also Greg Matchos. That's Caloundro through on Wayne now. Wayne Bunker fights back down the back straight away, and I got to tell you, Mike Van Brennan out in front, running strongly. The number 33 car of Chas Caloundro runs solidly in second for Castrol second. Hey, welcome all the guys from Castrol tonight up in the VIP room as Wayne Bunker kissed wheels with Greg Matchos. And that is Matchos off the racing circuit. Van Bremen still out in front. Caloundro runs in second. We got 4 laps left to run for Van Brennan. Chas Caloundro runs second. That is Wayne Bunker in third. Matthew Reid in the number 92 car tails out the field now. Down the back straight away for those 2 guys, but she's front straight away time for Mike Van Bremen and also Chas Caloundro running strongly now. Have a look at Chas Caloundro in the Castrol racing car. Does put a bit of pressure on Van Brennan. Van Brennan opened the door. I thought he might have let Caloundro through. Seems to be a favourite slot of Caloundro's, pulling it out of turn 2. Down the back straight away. Van Brennan suffered push, stood on the brake, slowed the momentum of the car. And this is where Caloundro can capitalise. Runs it now, Van Brennan down the back straight away. Caloundro has another look on the inside. They touch wheels, checkered flag at the ready. Checkered flag for Mike Van Brennan, our race winner from Chas Caloundro, Wayne Bunker and Matthew Reid. Proudly brought to you by Sprint Auto Parts. This is where it's at. David Anderson just fired the car around the outside. Wasn't hard to see that coming. The number 37 car, the title defender. Just showing you how it's done. Whoa, worked the ruts a little bit high out of turn 2. David Anderson, the number 37 car for Wagga Mobile Frames and Outrad Radiators, just smoking out in front of the field. Trevor Green now up to second. Here's the battle. Can Trevor Green run down David Anderson? We're about to take Trevor Green and Mark Reuter to the test. 5 left to run for Anderson, Green, Reuter, Chippendale, Bottoms. Gee, this car of David Anderson is on rails. Car just sat beautifully for him there through 1 and 2. His exit out of turn 2, very, very tidy. Trevor Green closing the gap on him, but the number 4 car screwed it hard out of turn 4, ran it down the straightaway. Now Greeny comes out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Inch by inch, really in. David Anderson, as he's only got 2 left to run. Coming up on the slower car, David Anderson bounced the car out of turn 2. Snuck it through on the inside now, Darryl Bottoms. David Anderson on his last and final lap. Checkered flag at the ready. Our race winner, David Anderson. This event 6 being proudly brought to you by Sprint Auto Parts. Time's falling away very, very quickly here. The circuit. Kelly Linigan sets the rolling pace, has set it at Liverpool. She knows what it's all about. Make that Parramatta. Orange lights come on. As I said, Kelly Linigan been putting in a lot of laps at Parramatta, PCR, on the clay. She knows what it's all about. Doing it, boys. Leads them around now, turn 4 action. Green line on, we got to start. Gilbert round the outside. The Freight Master car just smoked Kelly on the outside at the start. Mark Gilbert now settles into an early race rhythm. Kelly Linigan rode a rut. Moved the car over on the racetrack. Jamie Cobby looking to loosen her up on the inside, but she pinched him off out of turn 2. Kelly Linigan running strongly in second spot. Mark Gilbert, our race leader. Kelly Linigan screwed the car hard out of 4. Runs it down the back straightaway now, does the 25 car of Kelly Linigan from Jamie Cobby. Pete Smith unable to move in quite so quickly. Pressure right on Pete Smith this time round, coming from the back of the pack. Young Darren Maggs has got the job in front of him also. The Freight Master car of Mark Gilbert working to perfection on the tacky top here at the city. Mark Gilbert, our race leader. 3 left to run for the Freight Master car. Kelly Linigan holding very strongly in position 2 from Jamie Cobby. The number 16 Jarvis Ford car of Cobby's working very hard in 3rd, unable to run down Kelly Linigan at this point in the race. 1 left to run for Mark Gilbert. The number 5 car now runs strongly down the back straight away. Slipped the car into 2. Just had to back it off a little bit in the middle of the turn. Brings it off a 4 strongly. Checkered flag at the ready. And Kelly Linigan runs in second from Jamie Cobby. And I was just watching at the back of the pack, Pete Smith and Darren Maggs sorting out the final placings. Round the outside already, not a bad start. This Super Sedan race really starting to come alive down the back straightaway now, I've got to tell you. Cars going left and right. The 66 car of Barry Worthley in trouble, smoked severely. Our race leader still harding out in the number 27 car. Dave Harding in the number 27 car now really working strongly down the back of the racetrack. The number 3 car of Jason Sloper sets sail after Dave Harding. The 94 car of Mark Thompson still in contention but working very, very hard. That number 3 car of Jason Sloper looks awesome. Holden Commodore as the rest of the pack now set sail for these leading 3, but David Harding, I've got to tell you, well, as I said it, got it a little loose in that rut through 4, moved him up on the racetrack. Jason Sloper sees his opportunity. That car of Jason Sloper, to me, looks to be laying over on the right-hand side, particularly the right front corner of the car. David Harding's got it worked out pretty well at this point in time. Jason Sloper, the number 3 car now chasing David Harding hard, but down the back straightaway, David Harding had it a little loose out of 2, moves the car around on the racetrack on him. Mark Thompson still runs in 3rd place. strongly out in front. What can you say? The David Harding car is really starting to assert his authority over the field. 34 car of Ian Layson, that's the black car running down the back straightaway now, has snuck it through on Mark Thompson. This is Ian Layson just opening up the racetrack on turn 4. But it's all David Harding. This 27 car looks to be working very, very hard to keep his pace up. The lead of the race is fine, but to keep the pace of the car and keep his momentum up looks to be a difficult job. They're not easy to drive, and David Harding is really making a good job of this. Wide out now, they're on their last lap. Checkered flag at the ready for David Harding. Harding comes across the line, and I got to tell you, our race winner in fine style, David Harding from number 3 car of Jason Sloper. That's the 34 car of Ian Layson. Mark Thompson in the 94 car, followed by the number 2 car of Tony Lawbay from the 14 car of Peter Zion. In a minute. Out of turn 2, rolling down the back straightaway now, the number 16 car of Jamie Cobby on the inside. Of course, we now have a changed racetrack. There's no cushion to line the car on for Wayne Bunker. That just might give Jamie Cobby a slight advantage coming off the inside. But to Wayne Bunker, the racetrack is wider and the turn is more open. As we get set to run, green light on, guys across the line. WRB trying to get round the outside of Jamie Cobby down the back straightaway. Jamie Cobby fired that Jarvis 4 car now. Car pushed on him through 2, brings it out of 4. Pole shuffle time here at the city. Jamie Cobby runs down the back straightaway. Commanding lead, which elevates him up the point score ladder by 1 place. Jamie Cobby, the worst thing that can happen to Wayne Robert is he starts out of position 8. Atmosphere electric at the city as we get set to run. Pete Smith on the inside, Jamie Cobby cycling him just back a car length. Orange lights on. A little bit of foxing going on. Son of former sprint car driver here in South Australia, Rick Cobby. Young JB has just had a season in America where he ran very, very strongly. As we get set, car's still rolling. Protest flag on Smithy for going a little early, says the steward. That is the reason why they rolled that one more lap, because you have to give the driver the opportunity to say, hey buddy, get on a pace. Lights out this time round as we look for a start between the 2 South Australians. Number 8 car of Peter Smith on the inside, Jamie Cobby on the outside. Looking at what Wayne Bunker looked at in the previous shuffle. 2 great protagonists at the Speedway getting ready to run in the pole shuffle for the 1997 state Sprintcar title. Side by side, wheel to wheel, wing to wing action. At the start, Jamie Cobby now smokes Smithy on the outside, out of 2, runs it down the back straightaway. Laid the car over, feathered the throttle through 3, brings it out of 4 strongly. Smithy working very, very hard in the number 8 car now, trying to close the gap up on Jamie Cobby. But South Australia's fastest car salesman really sets him alight. Checkered flag at the ready. Jamie Cobby up the ladder, 1 more spot. Next car out against him, a number 5 Freightmaster car of Mark Gilbert, being pushed away now down the centre of the racetrack. Already a number 16 car right on the pace. Tension mounts. Cars roll through 3. Get ready to get it on the gas out of 4. Gilbert working the outside. Oh, wheel to wheel, they come across the strike. Gilbert opting for the long way round. Look at the Freightmaster car, hammer down out of 2 and got him. Jamie Cobby now fights back on the inside. Look at Gilbert, had the car sideways, up and over. Well, that is called. Good height, nice rotation, good landing, right up against the fence. See the wheel stand on the car. That car just bit very hard on the right rear and the car went straight up in the air. Mark Gilbert already out of the pole shuffle. Gee, that was an awesome wheel stand as he came out of 2. He actually squeezed the brake to bring the car back down onto the ground. And when he brought the car back down, of course, when you're off the throttle in a Maxim car, such as we get set to run pole shuffle time. Now, lights out. Green light, exit, turn 4, 2-lap pole shuffle. Cobby on the outside, Reuter on the inside. Wheel-to-wheel action, wing-to-wing action. As I said, right rear beats the left front. Here is Reuter. Had the better start on Cobby. Runs the first lap now. Had the car squirrely out of 4. Jamie Cobby right on him. You can see that relaxed driving style. Little loose out of 2 for Cobby. Down the back straightaway now, but Mark Reuter has defeated Jamie Cobby. Pole shuffle time. Jamie Cobby now just staying on the gas through the turn. You can't get off it through the turn because these cars being so geometrically opposed. Turn right. Now to come out to challenge the 95 car of Mark Reuter. That was a time of 27.5 for Reuter. This is the defending South Australian Sprint Car title holder, champion, David Anderson in the 37 car. Slots himself on the outside of Reuter. Cars side by side through 3. Start picking the revs up through 4. Green light on, Anderson working the outside of the racetrack. Slingshots past Mark Reuter down the back straightaway. Reuter fights back on the inside of the racetrack. Defending title holder David Anderson has set himself on fire. Comes out of turn 4. Great stuff. David Anderson now comes up against the Victoria number 6 car of Mike van Bremen. That's Mike van Bremen in the number 6 car out of Victoria. Ran the World Series Sprint Cars National Trail. Budget racer, did a great job. Here he is back now, making a run at David Anderson. Lights off, we're on a start lap. Right start by Anderson and Mike van Bremen. Stalled the car through turn 1, did van Bremen, cost him time. David Anderson now moves himself on the start out of position 3. Mike van Bremen will come out of 4. David Anderson runs down the back straightaway now. Front red radiators. It's David Anderson now comes out of 3. Next car out, the number 33 Castrol Racing car of Chascalandro. David Anderson down in a time of 25.9. Chascalandro coming round now onto the outside of him. Yellow light still on, the car's rolling. David Anderson on the outside, Chascalandro on the inside, the number 33 car for Sprint Auto Parts of Castrol Racing. Chascalandro now rolling around on the inside. That's Ando working the outside of the racetrack. Just gives you a good look and an indication of where A, the cush is, B, a bit of drive is when you're half track high. Car's rolling now through 3. That won't be a start. to see who's going to run out of position 2. Already Ando comes out of 3. This is the fight to see who comes off the front line alongside of, at this point in time, Trevor Green. But this is the fight for the front line. The loser of this battle comes off the second line. This is the fight for 2 and 3. Lights out this time round. Endo caught it early. Runs around the front of Jas Calandro, now down the back straightaway. David Anderson, the defending title holder. The current South Australian champion sets the pace. In our second last pole shuffle, David Anderson in awesome shape this time round. But I got to tell you, this is the battle I've been looking for too. An informed Trevor Green up against the defending champion David Anderson. Car just wasn't quite pushed away properly. In a record time, David Anderson of 25.3, another 2-lap record has fallen. This is going to be a good battle. We'll watch this intensely. Oh, car works nicely for Trevor Green there as he put it through too. It was just working superbly. Got the red hot setup on that car. As does Ando. Ando's looking pretty good too, but Trevor Green at this point in time is just going to make a decision on who starts where. Wants to come off the outside. Does Trevor Green, the number 4 car. Family supported effort. All the family here with him tonight. Father Kelvin, brothers Steve and Mouse. Paul Felch also joining them. As we get set for a start, Ando working the outside as the orange lights came on. A little bit of foxing going on here. This is to see who starts out of 1 or 2. So the worst thing that can happen is both these guys are going to come off the front line. It's just a matter of who comes out of 1 and who comes out of 2. Of course, the difficulty here is you might win this but want to start on the outside, and of course you're going to have to start on the inside. So this is the pole shuffle. David Anderson, Trevor Green. Victoria versus South Australia. What a start. Endo now down the back straight away. A couple of car lengths lead over Trevor Green. 1 left to run for David Anderson. He'll come out of position 1. Horsepower going to the ground. Horsepower climbing out of the chassis of these 2 cars. Our race winner, David Anderson over Trevor Green. Mind wishing he was there. As we get set to run, coming out of position 1, Bill Miller. Out of position 2, Rocky Caruso on the outside of him. Out of 3, Graham Cowlin. Peter Drew out of 4. Out of 5, Jason Sloper. Out of 6, David Harding. 7, Stevie Stewart. Ian Layson, Max Thompson, Wayne Bunker and Paul Zaitis bring up the rear of the field. I believe Wayne Bunker out in the number 2 car. Bill Miller, green light on. Rocky Caruso around the outside. And Peter Drew just pinched off Bill Miller out of turn 2. Callan to the outside of Miller. And here comes David Harding, Stevie Stewart, Jason Slater there. The race is on in earnest. 20 laps a journey. Rocky Caruso out in front and running strong. Peter Drew, the number 8 car, had it squarely out of 4. Graham Cowlin now running in 3rd. What about Stevie Stewart up the inside of David Harding. Here comes the race. Stevie Stewart trying to mow down the three in front of him. Graham Cowland running in third is the first on his left. Stevie Stewart put the car up on the inside of him. Peter Drew did half a loop in front of the group. Gets it back on the track now in front of Bill Miller. Stevie Stewart, South Australian State Sedan champ, now running in second. Going to run down Rocky Caruso. Graham Cowland runs in third from David Harding, then Peter Drew, then Bill Miller. The number 3 car, Belching Flame of Jason Sloper. Rocky Caruso leading. Here comes Stevie Stewart on Rocky Caruso, the number 11 car, the auto salvage car of Rocky Caruso, coming under pressure from the state champ. David Harding runs now on the inside of Graham Cowland, as does Peter Drew, run behind David Harding. But the race is on in the front of the pack, the number 11 car, our race leader from Stevie Stewart, puts it up on the high line, trying to run him down. Gee, that car's got some horsepower, Stevie Stewart. Here he goes round the outside. Caruso balked by a slower car, trying to get through on the middle. Wild contact in the front straight away. Rocky Caruso brings it under control as he swapped the car up high. Tries to split the two lapped cars that they're in amongst right now. Mark Thompson balking Stevie Stewart on his outside run. But I got to tell you, the state champ looking awesome. Drives up now onto the back of Rocky Caruso one more time. Graham Cowland still third from Peter Drew. We're at half lap distance for the Super Sedan feature race. Stevie Stewart now slips it on the inside of Rocky Caruso, and through he goes. Rocky Caruso fighting back on the inside, not giving up easily, but I got to tell you, awesome stuff from Stevie Stewart. That car is in electrifying form. Gee, he's doing a good job in the car. Have a look at it working on the racetrack. That's called sitting squat on the track. Our race leader, Stevie Stewart from Rocky Caruso, back to Peter Drew up to third. Peter Drew through on Graham Cowland and David Harding. But now Stevie Stewart once again in lap traffic comes through on the number 2 car, I believe being driven by Bunker. Rocky Caruso now through on the number 2 car. Whoa, out of shape down the back straightaway. Nearly caught Peter Drew, who had a bit of pace on. 4 left to run for Stevie Stewart. The Black Dry Creek Wreckers car now through on Jason Sloper down the back straightaway. Whoa, action at its best here. Super Sedan racing. This is where we're at. Stevie Stewart, our race leader's got 3 left to run. Rocky Caruso hanging in second. The 11 car down the back straightaway, now up onto the tail of a lapped Jason Sloper. Stevie Stewart, the number 1 car, just had a little sideways out of turn 4 on his second last time. One left to run for Stevie Stewart now. Comes up on a bunch of slower cars. Is he going to be content to sit behind them, knowing he's got a reasonable gap? Puts it up on the outside of Bill Miller. And here comes our race win around the outside. Stevie Stewart in an awesome confidence run. Hasn't seen the checkered flag quite yet, but took it on the outside of that lap. That car can just be run anywhere on the racetrack. He just places it anywhere and the car goes around. Superb handling car, former American Motorola car, John Sorey's car, and now in the hands of a very capable Steve Stewart, and I've got to tell you, does a great job in the car. Our race winner for the Super Sedan feature race. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as he waves the checkered flag as he comes by us on a victory lap. Race winner of the Super Sedan race, Stevie Stewart. Come on, Speedway fans, put your hands together. 20 laps of journey, Stevie Stewart, our race winner. That's Mags and Kelly Linigan lining up side by side. The 79 car of Matros and Chippendale at the back of the field, along with Darryl Bottoms, Matthew Reid and Darryl Downing. Of course, Darryl Downing taking his place at the rear of the field due to a rollover in the first heat. Get hard here at Speedway City. We got a green light. David Anderson out in front. Trevor Green already in trouble with the brake on the car. As you can see, Mike Van Bremham up to third. Jamie Cobby electric already as we've got two cars together down here in turns 1, 2. That is Matthew Reid and Darryl Downing have had a coming together with the two cars off the racing line, but considered dangerous. That'll take us back to a full restart. We get set now to run 25 the distance. Not a racing lap completed prior to that incident. The Jarvis Ford pace chute now pulls off the field. The reason why we have a pace chute, ladies and gentlemen, that is the mobile point on the racetrack that these guys line up on. That's what it's for. Lights out. Start lap this time round. On an even exit out of 4, we go green. Oh, a little bit of wheel banger between the front two. Orange lights on already. And of course the difficulty in getting one of these races away is pre-race nerves. And it looks that the top two have it happening. Field still in formation. Mark Reuter and Jamie Cobby coming out of positions 5 and 6. Lights out. As I said, even exit out of turn 4, we go green. Much better start. Ando had the front wheels in the air. Trevor Green's got him on the restart this time round. 25 laps the journey. Out in front, Trevor Green. Lights on one more time. Oh, devastation for Jamie Cobby. Looks to be out of the race. They are changing a tyre on the Matthew Reid car. He has got a flat left rear, and because the race hadn't done a racing lap, Stewart has deemed that the tyre can be changed for one of these hard-working guys. Jamie Cobby back out there. Obviously had a minor problem that was able to be fixed. Green light on this time round. We got a race already. Out the front, Trevor Green from David Anderson. Field through 1-2. Our leader out of 3-4. Trevor Green, David Anderson, Jessica Landro. Mike Van Brennan, Mark Reuter is our running order. Big rut developing already in turns 1-2. Trevor Green on fire. Out in front and starting to run away already. Jamie Cobby out of the race. Matthew Reid back in the race. Trevor Green runs now the number 4 green welding car down the back straightaway in awesome style. David Anderson now threads the needle at the back of the pack. Whoa, David Anderson had it sideways big time out of 4. Got it back together as he runs down the back straightaway. Hunting in third, Jessica Landro, and also fourth now, Mark Reuter. That is Mark Reuter through on Jessica Landro. Calandro fights back at him on the outside. Pitches him off as he hugs the curve on turn 4. But this is where the action's out at the front of the field, down the back straightaway. The number 4 car of Trevor Green, our race leader. Puts it through on Darryl Downing now. David Anderson not far off him in the blue and white, number 37. Wagga Mobile Cranes at Rad Radiator car now of David Anderson. Running in under Kelly Linigan, our race leader. The number 4 red car down the back straight away off Trevor Green. Trevor Green really working hard and lapping the field now as he comes up on young Darren Maggs. Puts an outside pass on him down the back straightaway. This is where it's at. Down the back straightaway. The field now spread all over the place. Trevor Green through on Greg Machos. Ando not running away, not letting Trevor Green run away with this race. Ando right on his tail. Could Trevor Green's car be going off and David Anderson's car coming on? Still Jessica Landro runs in third. Trevor Green, our race leader, out of turn 2, down the back straightaway now, with only 11 laps to run. A race past half distance, but Trevor Green in awesome fashion. David Anderson chasing him hard, just picked up a few car lengths on him. 10 laps left to run now for Trevor Green, as David Anderson right on him. As Trevor Green in lap traffic. Anderson maintains the momentum down the back straightaway. They are together. Trevor Green and David Anderson. Look at Trevor Green now under all sorts of pressure from David Anderson. David Anderson, our new race leader from Trevor Green. The number 4 car of Trevor Green's now runs in second place and looks to run down David Anderson. Let me tell you, here comes the South Australia right underneath Ando. Ando lops for a low line on him. Bicycles too. Wheels out of turn 4. What about the run from Trevor Green? David Anderson right on him. We've only got 5 left to run for Trevor Green. Awesome fashion. This race leader. Now up onto the tail of Peter Smith. He's got to get through on him, and I'll pick him up real fast. Our race leader Trevor Green runs strongly from David Anderson. That's Jess Calandro running in third. Only 3 left to run now for Trevor Green as we follow him down the back straightaway. Race car spread from turn to turn, straightaway to straightaway. What about it, Trevor Green? 2 from home. Comes up on a lap traffic, pressure on Trevor Green here now. He's only got 1 left to run. Trevor Green now behind. Whoa, look at this, Darryl. Downing, here comes Ando down the inside. Shot the car in underneath. Last lap they clash. And Trevor Green from David Anderson. What an awesome run from Jess. What about the race? Speedway fans, you couldn't get it any better. The race from Trevor Green and David Anderson, absolutely electric. Don't go away. Trophy presentation time. Stay right with us. We'll just be a little late until presentation time. Coming our way, don't go away. It's going to be great to hear what Trevor Green's got to say. Just bear with us 1 minute. Be right back with trophy presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me for the trophy presentation from Castrol here in South Australia, young Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Running third for Castrol Racing, Chas Calandro. Congratulations, Chas, getting your sash, and Josh to give you the trophy. Well done on running third. Hard race?
It was actually. We're not quite race fit, so I'm going to have to start pumping some iron. But that's something I'm going to work on myself. But I'm really proud now that we finally got a finish in. We went to Tasmania and we were going really well, and then we sort of smacked it in the fence pretty hard, so I knocked my confidence down a bit. But coming back here tonight, I think it's been good for our confidence in the race team. I think Castrol and us will probably go places. We're going to put a lot of effort into this for next season. So this season was just our, I guess, training ground and learn what the car does, and we learn it crashes hard. But yeah, I'd like to thank Castrol 100% and Ferrado Brakes and Federal Mogul, Vic Wood Sports Marketing. I think that's about it. Oh, and Brecknock Insurance. And thank you to all the Castrol people, and just keep buying Castrol because it's going to help us races. Thank you.
Chas Calandro, ladies and gentlemen. After a great race, ladies and gentlemen, what about that last lap? Please put your hands together. The number 37 car out of Victoria, David Anderson. And before we go on with second, on behalf of Goodyear Tyres, I'd like to present you with this Goodyear Eagle right rear on behalf of Billy McKenna and the boys for being top point scorer and winning the pole shuffle. Congratulations on a job well done from Goodyear Eagle.
Thanks very much, Jim. I'd like to thank Bill for being a great tyre supplier. He really supports us racers throughout the year, and he's always there where you need him. Even when you stick a hole in them, he manages to plug them up. Thanks very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and to get your sash and also trophy, David Anderson and the guys from Castrol.
Congratulations, job well done. That was excellent. Very, very close, very tight, very, very good. Well done. There we go.
Hard race, particularly at the end.
Yes, it was, and I knew right from the outset with Trevor starting on the outside of me, it was going to be a race of who could put the best moves on in traffic and who was going to be in front at the end. And, you know, I mean, I got him there in lap traffic, but then I had a huge bicycle. He got me back, and then we come round to the last lap, and, you know, we were side by side. But Trevor was a better man on the night, and I congratulate him, and Chaz for running third. I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Adrad for the best radiator, particularly Sprintcar radiator in the country, and Wagga Mobile Cranes, Sloan Electrical, RTS Transport, and DNF Racing. Thank you.
David Anderson, ladies and gentlemen.